Water fasting, people have used it for eating away their cancer. A water fast is amazing, and it is the biggest reset that you could probably do in your life. I don't normally say to people fast for weight loss, because many people, when they do fast just solely for weight loss, they don't learn the skills on how to eat. If you want to continue detoxing, then eat raw fruits and vegetables. Oh my gosh, I forgot to mention the most important thing. When you're fasting, the most important thing is that you... Welcome, Wisdom Keepers, Soul Tribe, and new Earth leaders to Soul Temple, your haven for growth and self-discovery. I am Blythe Langford, and I'm going to be your guide to helping you find yourself and your true purpose. Together, let's shift from feeling stuck and misaligned to living a life of purpose and pleasure and prosperity. I am super excited to share with you how you can have a spiritual holiday and a mental holiday from your mind. This episode is all about fasting, which is one of my favorite things. I have been fasting for the last 17 years. I'm a breatharian. I don't even eat. That is not true. But there are many people out there now. We're going to go into all sorts of things fasting today. And like I said, this is one of my favorite topics. I have probably done every fast out there. I've fasted from 1 day up to 50 days multiple times. 1 year I fasted for 6 months. So believe me, I know about fasting and all of the elements to do with it. So today I'm going to talk to you about all the benefits of fasting, and then also just the different types of fasting, the history of fasting, different cleanses that you can do depending on the organs that you want to cleanse, about worms, about enemas, detoxing, how to break your fast, how to detox and fast, and depending on your age, so many different things, juice fasting, colon care, blah, 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 all of the things. So first of all, I want to touch base on, like I said, my experience with fasting, just so that you can understand my background. I started to get into fasting after I had cervical cancer and then went plant-based. And I went plant-based solely because I thought I was dying and I was in extreme pain in my body. I refused to have chemo, radiation, all of the things, any of the drugs, because I just started to learn about organic health at that time. I was paleo, I was eating all organic, probably only for about 6 months, and I'd gotten off all medications. But my mother wanted me to get the vax. I was from a high vaxxed family, and, to stay in alignment with her, I did. And so after my second vax, I got cervical cancer. And I was really lucky because I had already started to learn about organic health and knew that you could actually cure your own diseases. And so I was like, cool, I got cancer. Okay, cool. I went to my teacher. I was like, guess what? I got stage 4 cervical cancer. We get to cure this now. How exciting is this going to be? Like, I was excited about it. And she was like, this is too far gone. Like, you are too far gone. I cannot guarantee that you're going to live through this. I can't support you. And my whole world crumbled. I'm like, but what do you mean? That means, she's like, go and get the surgery, get chemo, get all of the things, because I can't take the responsibility of your death. I was like, whoo, mic drop. You could hear a pin drop in the room. I was like, fuck, what do I do? I didn't know enough then like I do now. I think I was like 26 or something like that. And this is 2 decades ago, it's such a long time ago. So the internet had only just come out, put it that way. The internet had only just come out. I was still typing like ding, 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 like Google wasn't a thing, okay? So information very limited. And I said to the doctors that were looking after me, I said, look, I'm not going to do any of the things that you want me to do, straight up. There ain't no cutting medications. So what's another way that we can do? And they said, look, you can have laser surgery, but we can't guarantee that it's going to work. I'm like, great. I already know that I'm okay. So I'm just having this to appease everybody around me. So I got the laser. And then after that, I was excruciatingly sick. I could not digest food. Everything I ate, even though I was paleo, I was eating organic, I wasn't eating gluten, I wasn't eating dairy, I wasn't eating late at night. I was suffering. I would eat, my stomach would swell out. There would literally be nights when we'd come home and I'd be on my bed crying. My boyfriend would be like, what's wrong? I'm like, there must have been gluten, and I'd ring my friend and be like, was there gluten in the meal? Because I am so much pain right now. She's like, babe, there's not. And it was just like my body was just giving up on me. And so to be in that space, like I understand about having major health concerns where you think your body is actually against you. I was just like in a place where I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know how to feed myself. I don't know what my body needs. I don't know what my body is telling me. And thank God I found fasting because it changed everything. And then I became like fucking psychic intuitive with my body. And my body can tell me everything in a heartbeat. And I'm like totally switched on, tuned in, tapped in all the time. And that's what I hope for you too, where your body is no longer an entity outside of yourself that is working against you, but is actually like the greatest gift in your life that is giving you all of the answers all the time. And now you know how to listen, because that's what fasting can do for you. Now, I'm going to run through the benefits because there is so many, and you are welcome. First of all, like I said at the beginning, fuck, if you just want to go on a holiday and you really can't, or if the people around you are triggering the fuck out of you and you just want to get away, do a fast. It's the greatest holiday that there is. You can literally escape everybody by doing a fast. Because when you are fasting, obviously there's a lot less calories going through your body. But what actually happens is because there's no chemicals going through your body as well. These are all my own personal beliefs from 18 years of fasting, okay? And being a naturopathic nutritionist and being a raw vegan chef and being a raw food nutritionist and those things, right? But these are the things that I've come to learn, that when you take out anything that is inflammatory from your diet, you also take out any chemicals. So, you know, when you're having processed foods, there's chemicals in them and your body has to process them. And it's almost like, I personally believe that when you have chemicals come into your body, that's when you have disharmony and you feel a bit like shit. So when you take out those chemicals, it's like your body only has the juice that it requires. It has all of the medicine and the nourishment it needs. So it's like happy. So when you are fasting, you become just happier. You become your intuitive self completely, right? Not all the time, but pretty much most of the time, except in the evening once the sun goes down, because then you get a bit tired and your nasty self can come out. But if you're juice fasting, it's like you're just in your intuition. It's like you are the best version of yourself. It's like you've got no filter and you can just be 100% authentic. And it's freeing. It's so liberating. So it is like a mental holiday from the stress, because believe me, when you're fasting, you don't have a lot of energy to stress. So the stress just sort of goes away. And I say this because I'm starting a fast tomorrow and I can't fucking wait, because the mental stress just goes away. So I can actually just be on point, dealing with the things that come up without any pain or suffering. Because when they come up, it's like, oh, cool, what's this? Like, you're actually excited for things when they're like, amazing, yeah, I know how to deal with this, because I'm like fully tapped into my intuition. So there's no blocks within us. So everything just becomes so much easier. Now, yes, if you are one of my family members or one of my ex-teammates, one of my staff that are triggered by me fasting, especially my family, they'd be like, Blythe, you had no brain most of the time. Great, because it ain't serving me most of the time, okay? How much does your brain help you suffer? Well, that little fucker was gone. That was not there. It was just like this harmonious time of bliss in my brain all the time. And I say this too because I normally fast one day a week, and I fasted the other day, and the second day I was like, oh my gosh, I was just in this bliss day. I was just like, oh, life. Oh my God, everything that happened, I was like, this is the best. I was like meditating, being like, I love life. Thank you, God. High self, Buddha, Allah, whoever you believe in. Like, this is the best day. Oh my God, this is so good. I was like crying with just the love for life. When was the last time you were like that? And all I had to do was not eat, which gives me so much time to do other things too. It's so good. And so I was just like so in love for life. And the only reason I ate, you're welcome, was because I was filming this podcast. And I was like, I want my brain to be 100% on for everybody. And my body was screaming to me to fast. And so then the next day, unconsciously, the universe served me, or my higher self served me, these little things, because I did not listen to my body. And some things were not aligned with what I wanted to feel. And it was a bit shit. And all these things came up and I was like, it's because I didn't listen to my body and continue to fast. Because I'm sure you guys would have loved to see me all crazy and weird. So yeah, that was really interesting. Like you just become so attuned and aligned, and yeah, it's so fun. So that is the mental space that you can go into, and it's really great because if you do have mental health issues, then it allows these issues, because they're programs, they're not our organic state of being, they're things and parts of us and parts of our past that are traumas. So they're not the original state of us. They're things that have happened to us. So once we do fast, we actually see them for what they are, and the body starts to process them. So we don't have to go and do this amazing like ayahuasca ceremony to go through them, or we don't have to go and do somatic release or breath work. You can just fast, and then we can see the psychological or the physical traumas start to alleviate and leave the body. It's fucking profound. So I highly recommend fasting for that. Now, the spiritual benefits. Oh my God, the spiritual benefits are like, okay, so after my first fast, and then I came back and went raw, because the reason why you eat raw food after a fast is because then you continue the detox, and so your body will continue to detox all the impurities out of it. Oh my God, my psychic ability is like a gazillion X'd. Like I am not fucking joking. I could see the energy coming out of trees through space and time, right? Because if you believe in quantum physics, you know, how the world is, then everything is frequency and everything is movement. And it's like these tiny little particles going everywhere. I could see that. I was like, you know, people say, I want to live beyond the veil. Mate, I was living beyond the veil. I was seeing all of the veils, all of the things. It was amazing. And then the communication started. So I first started to see the frequency, or maybe I don't know which one was first, but then be able to get the communication from the plants, from the animals. I'd also then started to be able to see in a human's body, if they had disease, it would shine green. So I could see this toxicity within people. Like, you know, my clients would sit down and I'd be like, hey, how's your liver? And they'd be like, oh my God, I'm having so much pain in my liver. I'm like, great. Not great, but here's a remedy for that. Or somebody come in and they'd have like, you know, something shining out their head, and it'd be like, oh, how is, you know, your mind? And they're like, oh, yeah, this is coming up, blah, blah, blah. And so everything started to make sense. I'd be able to see beyond the veil. And because all of us, when we eat biologically, which is plants in their natural organic state, we're all supposed to be this way. So it's not like I was special. I was just going back to our original state of being, which is caretakers of the earth, aligned with the earth, eating biologically, which means eating in alignment for our bodies, which is of the earth, because we're on this earth planet and she gives us our food. She doesn't want us to kill anything. She's fine with us not killing anything because she gives us the abundance of all the fruits and veggies, which is everything that our body needs. But we've got canines. Canines are for roots. Your canines cannot break bones. Therefore, you're not a carnivore, okay? Like dogs aren't even carnivores. They're herbivores. They eat omnivores, herbivores. We're herbivores. They're omnivores. They eat both. Cats are carnivores because they don't eat anything else. My dog loves fucking watermelon. I'm sure your dog loves chips. I'm sure your dog loves all of those things. You know, they're not pure carnivores, and neither are we. So the spiritual growth, everything just starts to come online. That's why I'm so excited to do a fast. I'm like, I was feeling a little bit of unclarity around like things within my business, and, you know, just had a lot of mentors in my life who I love, and now I'm having a break. I'm like, I'm just doing Blythe school with fasting and Mother Earth, and I'm going to get all the downloads, because I always do. You always do. It's like guaranteed that you're going to have this amazing expansive growth when you fast, because you go back into your organic state of being. And what's also really beautiful is the ancestral benefits you get. So what I mean by that is you start to clear out the lineage trauma that has been imprinted into your DNA. Who cares about that, Blythe? Well, guess what? You know what? Your kids care about that. Because if you can clear out ancestral and lineage trauma, then you're not passing that on to the next generation. You're not passing that trauma onto your family. So think about it. If you've got a area in your life like potentially wealth, money, time, where you feel scarcity or lack, or maybe you feel unworthy or not enough or unlovable or you don't love yourself. Can you imagine being able to do a fast and then that ends that cycle within your body and then your kid never has to feel that? Turn me on anymore. Oh my gosh. Isn't that what being a great parent is about? I don't know. Is it? I don't know. I'm not a parent. Or am I a parent to many? Questionable. Now, how can fasting help you in your business? Like I said, I'm a little bit stucked right now. A little bit stuck. Not stuck, but I just have this thing where I feel like unclear because I'm going through a lot within the property at the moment and what we're birthing and creating the retreat center and, creating free energy devices and getting all the right people on the land and getting, I'll be honest with you, getting a refinance for the next stage of development, renovation. And it's a lot. It's a real lot. And so that can put a lot of pressure on me because I'm a single woman and, Honey doesn't speak the English. So she can't help me that much, my dog. So having a fast this week, oh my gosh, it just alleviates all that pressure. And then I'll be able to still deal with all of those things that come up with the refinancing, with the property, with like getting new people here, with all of those kind of things. But then it will also give me the clarity of who the fuck I am, who the fuck I am here to serve. Yes, it's all about sacred women's business. Yes, it's all about building utopia. Yes, it's all about that. But I want the finer little details where Mother Nature goes, Blythe, you just forgot these little bits about yourself. Blythe, you just forgot the priestess energy that you need to bring in. Blythe, you just forgot how you incorporate the elements into the business. Blythe, you forgot how it's like, oh, of course. And it's not like you have to work for it or anything like that. It's just like they come in downloads like that where it's like this deep inner knowing, right? Where you don't have to work for it. It's like I just fast, relax, do the things I love, bajinga, and then I get the answers. It's so much easier. Forcing, so masculine, not here for it. So divinity, femininity, fasting, do it for your business. It's amazing. Relationships. Oh my gosh, how can fasting benefit your relationship? Oh my gosh. Well, when your partner annoys you or somebody just like annoys you and you're like, why the fuck are they annoying me? Like, why am I getting annoyed by this shit? This is ridiculous. I fucking love them. And I'm just like, ah. Well, guess what? When you fast, you can just be like, you see why they're doing that and the space that they're coming from. It might be from a wound or it might be because they want love or, so you just feel so much more love and compassion for people. You're just like, oh my God, I see your soul. They might be saying, I just did the biggest shit in the bathroom. Don't go in there. You're like, I love you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love you. Thank you for thinking of me. It's becomes stupid where they're like, okay, eat some food. You're an idiot. But it's like, no, you actually get to see how much you love people. And then afterwards, your relationship becomes even more yummy. And then just like touching them is more sensual and like everything is just so much more beautiful. You just get to really appreciate them. Yes, there will be times where you're like still purging your own things that are coming up and can be like, this is annoying the shit out of me, but you come from a more honest and integral place. So it can really nourish your relationships as well. Or potentially go, you know what? I was lying to myself. You've been lying to yourself. We're not a match. Why are we forcing this? Let's just lovingly leave each other as well. So whatever needs to happen in your divine union, it can happen. Self-worth. Whoa, 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 wee wah. Do you know how much it can help your self-worth? Whoa, 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 wee wah. Holy moly. When was the last time you looked at your body and you were like, fuck, you are the sexiest bitch in the world? I love you. There is nothing wrong with you. You are perfect, whole, and complete. A lot of people really struggle with this, and I remember this because I used to be this person. But whether I'm fasting or not now, I look at myself like that all the time. Sometimes I'm triggered by my wrinkles, I'll be honest with you, but my body, I'm always like, fuck, damn, bitch, how are you so hot? You're like 43. What the fuck? Your body just keeps on getting better. How? So, and not that it's all about external validation, but it's like, I love my body. I love it internally, externally. I love how it works. I love I've got a prosthesis in my arm. Yeah, I had cancer. Yeah, all these things. Oh my gosh, my body's amazing. It's gone through all of those things. Do you know, if I think about it and I tuned in, I would be like bawling my eyes now about how much I fucking love this body. There is nothing more sacred to me in this world than this temple. And I helped create her. And I would love you to have that same level of love and respect for your body. So once you do fast, then it allows you to have a deep appreciation for your body and your self-worth, because you know how to care for yourself. So I would love you to have that much love and honor and desire to care for yourself in the best way possible. And fasting is a great way to initiate that self-worth again. Now, I already touched on this, but purpose, discovering your purpose is amazing, like when you're fasting. So you will generally become a lot more aligned with your purpose whilst you're fasting, because you remember who the fuck you are. You remember all your greatness. You remember why you came here onto this planet, but in such an effortless, easy way. So really helps with that so much. And pleasure, like I said, pleasure. Yum, 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 yum. Fasting for weight loss is a big deal. And I don't normally say to people fast for weight loss, I'll be honest, because I feel like many people, when they do fast just solely for weight loss, they don't learn the skills on how to eat. I don't know if I've mentioned previously about like weight loss clients, but generally my clients can lose 30 kilos in 8 weeks. And that's with eating without needing to fast. Yes, it's eating raw, but it's eating. Or sometimes it's not even eating raw. It just depends, but it's definitely through eating. And then they learn those tools and tips, because it's so important for you to learn recipes, or else you'll always go back to your old way of being. So yes, fasting for losing weight, if you are going to implement really amazing eating patterns and structures afterwards. So that's really important. But if you are going to do that and you want to add fasting in, of course, it will just speed up the process. So of course, I mean, but that's also something for you to be aware of as well, because if you've got mass amounts of weight to lose, you don't necessarily want to lose weight so fast, because you can get a lot of stretch marks as well and loose skin. So that's why it's nice to incorporate things in a really beautiful pace with eating, and then maybe just fasting 1 day a week or something like that. But reach out to me if you want to know more about that. Then you can figure out a personalized plan that's actually going to work for you. And the most important thing is how to prepare for a fast, and then also how to break a fast. Because I hear so many people are like, yeah, I did my fast and now I'm like eating nuts and turkey and McDonald's the next day. I'm like, oh my God, how painful must that feel in your body? And they're like, yeah, I'm like, fasting was so bad for me because now I'm in so much pain. It's like, no, you just didn't know how to break your fast. Because just like the fast is important, but breaking your fast is more important than the actual fast. So if you want to continue detoxing, then eat raw fruits and vegetables. It is essential. So I'm going to give you a specific plan on how to break your fast. So please get a notepad and pen and write this down. The first fruit you want to have when you break your fast is watermelon. Only watermelon. It has got the most water content in it. It's still got soluble fiber in it, but it's the thing that body will absorb the easiest. It's the easiest for the body to break down, so it won't upset your tummy. Okay? Then the next meal you want to have, either oranges or papayas, not bananas or anything like that. That's too hard, like they're too dense. You want to have something that, or even like apple. And it depends on the length of your fast as well. So I'm talking if you've just done like a day, 3 days, up to a week, then then you can bring these things in. So, you might want to have apples, oranges, just really a few things at a time, really, really light. And that's it. And no leafy greens, no fats on the first day, no leafy greens on the first day, because they're too hard and dense for the tummy. So it will feel painful in there. Okay. So then once you've had your watermelon, then the next meal and you want to have at least 10 to 20 minutes between each food. So you could be like, yeah, but watermelon's not going to fill me up. Eat the whole watermelon. It'll fill you up. And then you're like, oh, an orange and an apple ain't going to fill me up. Eat a whole bag of oranges. It'll fill you up. Believe me. And you're like, oh, apple won't fill me up. Eat a whole bag of apples. It'll fill you up. But you want to make sure you have watery fruits before your apples. Eat a whole papaya. Like, we're so trained to think, oh, I can't eat too much fruit. What? It's so dumb. Like, they're so low in calories. Eat more fruit. Straight up. Eat more fruit. People look at the amount that I eat. They're like, how are you not the fattest man in the world? I'm like, because I eat fruits and vegetables. They're like, it's so much food. I'm like, I fucking love eating. I'll eat as much as I want. I stay as skinny as I want. If I wanted to put on more weight, I could easily. I used to be a lot heavier. Look at my old reels, go way back in my thing. I used to be a lot heavier, still on a raw and vegan diet because I did a lot more weight training. I did different things. But now I want to be light because I like to be agile like a fucking deer when I run, okay? That's why. Those things. And then in the evening, after you've had your fruits, then you could have a salad, not greens. You'd have watery vegetables. So you'd have cucumber, tomato, maybe some grated zucchini, and have a lot of that. And then you'd put some Celtic sea salt over the top, some lemon juice, some pepper. If you want some, don't do chili. If you want some chili, you could do, no, ginger. Ginger would be better. Grate some ginger over it, mix that all up. So yummy. Actually, when you've finished fasting and then you eat food, oh my God, it's like an orgasm in your face. Like eating the food, it's like that. It's like the best thing that you've ever eaten in your life. Like, oh my God, when you eat a watermelon after you've finished fasting, you're like, oh my God, this watermelon. How is it so good? The salad, you're like, oh my God, how is this food so fucking good? Because you're getting all of its vibrational frequency. You're in alignment with the earth. There's no mistake that we're supposed to be turned on and love our food. But we don't, because most of the food we eat is dead and it doesn't have an energetic frequency anymore. It's not pulsating life. But when we eat fruit in its raw organic state, especially after we've fasted, we are getting that pure life force, and fuck, you feel the vibration going through you, because all fruits are gifts from the earth because they need us as the caretakers of the earth to seed their babies around the world. That's what fruit is. Like people are like, oh, but fruit's got a vibrational frequency as well. Yeah, fruit and veggies do, because they want us to eat them. We are the seeders. We go and plant the seeds. And so they give us the fruit in order to love the trees. That's how it's supposed to be. And so you just feel this divine frequency of love going through you. And oh my God, it's fucking as good as sex sometimes. I'm not going to lie. I'm actually not going to be able to touch on everything that I wanted to touch on, because obviously fasting is one of my favorite subjects. So we're going to have to do another episode on some of it. But the things that I can touch on is the different kinds of fasting. Because you're like, what? Isn't there all like, there's only one kind of fasting? No, there's not. There is water fasting, when you just fast on water. Now, this is the second most intense kind of fasting. Dry fasting on nothing is even harder. But water is really challenging. And I would only recommend doing a water fast if you are fucking sick, like you are dying, and like an extended water fast, that is, and you need to like heal yourself immediately because you've been given a bad prognosis. So water fasting would be a way to get all of disease out of your body as quick as possible and allow your body to start eating away the disease. And then you can literally, it's been known for, I'm not going to say it cures cancer. I'm not going to say that. But people have used it for eating away their cancer. People have used it for eating away disease. So a water fast is amazing, and it is the biggest reset that you could probably do in your life. It will add, like, there's science behind it. I don't have it on me right now, but there is science behind it. It can add like a decade onto your life, a week or two water fast, like far out. That's fucking worth it, and quality years. It's fucking amazing. So water fasting. The next thing you can do, that's the most intense kind of fast, and I do dry fasting intermittently every single day, but is dry fasting. So it's no water, it's nothing but air, right? Intense. Now, I used to want to be a breatharian. We can go into this in another episode, but I used to want to be a breatharian so bad. And then I realized, Blythe, you just love food too much. Like, who are you kidding? So, I don't do that anymore. But dry fasting is the most challenging kind of fast that there is sometimes. But once you've done a few fasts and then you do dry fasting, then it just becomes normal. Like for me, like I can dry fast most days for like 18 hours. It's not a big deal for me anymore. Love it. It's fine. And then there's intermittent fasting, which is the easiest kind of fasting. So maybe you just don't eat and you maybe just drink during the morning, and then you eat like a meal in the evening, or maybe you just have a lunch and a dinner. It's the easiest kind of fasting. And that's how everybody used to eat before breakfast was invented and they started to want us to consume more food so that they could sell us shit, right? Everybody used to intermittent fast. If you look up what Jesus studied in the Essene text, the Gospel of Peace, then everybody intermittent fast, and everybody was encouraged to eat less to prevent disease, and they all cleansed one day every single week. no food and no food. So then there's also juice fasting, of course, which is the most common because it's the easiest. Now, juice fasting to some people isn't even considered fasting because you are still consuming calories. However, it is the most easiest way of fasting, and especially if you're having like fruit juices, then you will still have calories and you'll feel really fucking happy. Like that's what I do. I like juice fasting, and then I'll also have teas with it as well, and water and fresh coconut water. Now, it's really essential that you understand the difference between different kinds of juice. So first of all, there's sweet and savory juice, but then there's fresh juice and there's processed juice. So every single juice that you get in your supermarket is processed juice. Now, what that means is it's been pasteurized. It's been heat treated. And so once a juice is heat treated, the sugars in there, the natural sugars and their natural enzymes, they die and they become toxic to the body. So whilst you think that you're drinking this juice and it's really good for you, it's the opposite. The body doesn't actually have the enzymes to process that food. And so it's literally like having white sugar, like drinking like spoonfuls of white sugar. That's how toxic juice is. So you want to make sure that you juice your own juice, or you go to the shops and get freshly squeezed juice. And you can be like, Blythe, my juicer is so annoying. I have to do all the parts. Like, that's great. Guess what? I got a solution for you. So just use your blender. Get your blender, chop the things up really fine, put them in the blender. You can put a little bit of water in there, blend it all up, and then put it through a nut milk bag. And a nut milk bag you can find online. Just Google it. It's what us raw vegans use to create cheese and all sorts of things. But it allows you to separate the juice from the pulp. So then you can literally just have the juice in there. Oh my gosh, I forgot to mention the most important thing. Far out. When you're fasting, the most important thing is that you consume no fiber. So everything needs to be a juice or water. Now, why I say that is because people are like, I'm on a smoothie fast. Okay, cool. But a smoothie fast is literally just food that's mashed up. So whilst you think you're fasting, you're not. You're actually still consuming food. Whereas when you're fasting, you are only consuming a liquid. So you completely get rid of fiber from your diet. And what this does is after 3 days, your digestive system will shut down. And once your digestive system has shut down, then it will start to eat disease in the body. And that's the whole point of a fast, because you will be able to reverse age yourself. Because remember, aging is just, it's not a necessary. People used to live 1,000 years. Aging is a super fucked up paradigm that we live in that isn't our organic state of being. So we can legitimately anti-age ourselves by fasting. So it is really important for the digestive system to shut down, because once it has shut down, 80% of our energy is spent on digestion. So once it shuts down, 80% of that energy will then go into treating diseases within our body. But then the best part, it changes the neuroplasticity of our brain. So we get new neuro pathways. We go through and are able to end toxic programming in our minds and in our body. And so that we get to go back to our organic state of being. We get to go back into this flow. We get to go in this rhythm of nature and in our bodies. And we start to think expansively and collectively and as oneness rather than as separated. And we have greater love and capacity to love and greater intuition to grow our businesses and our relationships and our self-worth. And so that's why you want to make sure you have no fiber. Don't do yourself the disservice of having fiber in your fast, because you won't get your digestive system shutting down and you won't have the profound effects. Now, I do want to explain the side effects of fasting as well. If you've been one that's been drinking a lot, alcohol that is, you will be expelling all those toxins out of your body. So you might have hot flushes, you might have sweats, you might when you sleep. Not always, and especially not if you're juice fasting, but when you're water fasting, potentially, especially if you drank the day before. Like, I would highly recommend not doing that. Give yourself a bit of time of clean eating before you do a fast. But you might feel nauseous at times. You might feel lack of energy. You might feel a bit jittery. You might feel as soon as the sun starts to go down that your head wants to go down as well. These things are all normal. You might become really aware of your thoughts, and you might notice yourself purging all of these thoughts and purging emotions. So you might feel really angry as your liver starts to cleanse, because that's where the liver stores anger. You might start to purge a whole lot of grief and feel sadness because your body is holding that. And these areas of you purging need to come up and out, because that's what causes disease. Disease is just unexpressed emotion stored in an organ. So once you can fast, you will literally be purging these things out of your body, and you will feel them. You've got to feel them to heal them, right? So they are some of the side effects. And if you want to learn more about fasting, I literally have fasting that's included in every single one of my programs, because I think it is the foundation for this human body. And no matter what you're dealing with, whether you want to learn more about your relationship, you want to grow your business, whether you want self-worth, first of all, you have to find the foundations of worthiness within yourself to go to the depths. So that's why I love putting a different form of fasting depending on what is appropriate for the individual into every single program and retreat that I do, because it gives you the growth and the surety and the self-assurance that so many of us desire, and the joy and the fun and the play and the connection to spirit and source and the environment and our psychic abilities. It's just so fucking cool. So if you're inspired to do a detox, but you're not sure where to start, or if you want to just clean out your kitchen, or if you're about to have a baby and you want to know how to get your body and your mind healthy because you're not sure about fasting for you, or if you want to really excel in your business and you feel like this could be a vital piece for creating foundations, a sustainable foundation of growth for you, then reach out, because this obviously is something that I'm so passionate about. And I've just seen for myself and everybody that I've taken through fast, the amazing transformations that they've had. So I look forward to hearing more from you or more about your fasting journey. Pop it in the details below. And like I said, I'm doing a fast tomorrow. So jump on the bandwagon. Do one day. Do that diet that I said. Even if you can't do a juice fast, just do the watermelon, then apples and oranges, then papaya, then the little salad in the night. Start off with that. And then the next day do juice, or maybe just do teas. You'll feel fucking amazing, like seriously. And you'll purge out all the things that are going to shorten your life. Thank you so much for joining me on Soul Temple. If this episode spoke to your soul, I would love your support with a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And don't forget, please subscribe on your favorite platform too. Don't let your journey end here. Connect with me and my like-minded community of beautiful souls at Blythe Langford on all social platforms. I look forward to diving with you deeper on your journey.